Hey everybody, so I wasn't planning on making a video today just because I really don't have any answers for anybody, but I was, kind of laying around and I started thinking about everyone and all the support that everyone's been showing me, and I'm like, I really want to update them on something, I felt kind of bad because the last vlog that I did, or TTC vlog that I did, we were going to the urologist. We were supposed to be getting some answers, and I was mid 2-week wait, and I haven't really said anything since. We still haven't gotten any answers. The appointment that we went to was pretty disappointing. Not so much that it was bad information, but it was the fact that what we did get could have been handled in a phone call. I mean, we drove an hour and a half there, we sat in the waiting room, then we sat in the exam room, and he came in and basically printed up the blood work results and one of the analysis results and read them to us. And for me, it's easy to read those. I went to phlebotomy school and I've had tons of my own blood work done, so I know how to read test results. So he printed those up, basically read them to us. For some of you that don't know or have never had your husband or anyone you know get an analysis, they test 3 different things. The sperm count, obviously, motility, and morphology. And morphology is like the shape of the sperm itself. Sometimes they can have 2 heads or 2 tails or not be proportioned correctly. So they check for that. And then they check for motility, which I'm not 100% familiar with. I'm not going to pretend like I know. Sorry about this stuff. But basically, what I thought it was how fast they swam. Are they fast or they're slow? And that's what motility was. But apparently what it means is how far they get in a straight line before they die. So that's kind of like the best way that I can explain it. So sometimes they'll veer off, or sometimes they die very quickly, and that's not good. Doesn't matter how high the sperm count is. If they can't make it to your cervix, if they can't get into your uterus and get to the egg, if they die before they get there, then that's not good. So they test for those 3 things, and we've got 2 out of 3 good. The motility was slightly low, and so when you're reading test results from a lab, they give you a range, like, let's say out of 100, 30 and above is normal, 30 and below is abnormal. Well, I'm not sure the range is for motility. I think it might be like 50 and over is good, 50 and below is bad. And he was like, I don't remember. I don't have the exact numbers, but it was just barely below the normal or average number. And so in my head that said, well, we had 2 analyses done. We don't have the results of the second one. The second one could be perfectly normal. It could have just been, coincidence. I don't know. It could have just been that he was having an off day. It doesn't mean that it's that way every time. But the doctor basically said the blood work was fine. 2 out of 3 of those numbers were fine. And that he wanted to send him to get an ultrasound done. And I'm not going to go into that. But my reaction was, let's wait until we get the other analysis. I mean, if it's completely normal and all the other numbers were normal, then we don't have anything to worry about. But my husband kind of had the opposite reaction. He was like, we're already here, we're already doing this. If I end up having to have some kind of procedure done or have to take some kind of medication, I want to be 100% positive that there is something wrong. So I want to get the ultrasound, I want to get whatever testing they recommend done, which is fine with me. I would like to have him 100% in the clear and not just kind of, teetering on the unknown. So basically what that boils down to is that we don't have any news. I mean, we don't know if it is him. We don't know if there is anything wrong with him. We won't know probably for a couple more weeks. His next appointment is not until the first week of April. So, and then if you know how I go with how my ultrasound appointments go, it could be next year before we get his back. But anyway, so that's just kind of a brief update on that, not a whole lot of details, and I don't want to go into too much detail right now because, like I said, we don't know anything. So I don't want to just keep repeating myself and keep telling you guys the same story over and over again. I just want to wait until we know for sure what's going on, what the game plan is going to be, and then maybe I can sit down and kind of give you all of the information and let you know what the doctor originally suspected and what, you know, course of treatment, if there is going to be any, what that's going to be. I'd rather just kind of save that for another time to give you a full update and not just bits and pieces. And as far as my cycle goes, I don't even know where to begin. I am cycle day 26 and I am 14 DPO. And I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I have been tracking my cycles like to the T for the past year on my app and tracking and recording everything. And since I started taking my Clomid, and then I got off the Clomid, from the time I started taking it till now, I have had perfect cycles. I mean, I can tell you when AF is coming, like to the T. I mean, I've been off by about 24, 48 hours sometimes. You know, I'll think she's coming today, this morning, it'll be late tonight, or, you know, so I've always been pretty spot on to the day. My luteal phases have been 12 days long for the past 8 cycles. So 8 months straight. I've had no shorter than a 25-day cycle and no longer than a 27-day cycle, and I've not had a luteal phase go past 12. So for me to be on 14 DPO is telling me that I was not accurate in tracking ovulation, although I use the same technique and the same method that I've been using for the past 8 months, and it's been spot on every time. Hopefully this guy doesn't hit me. This parking lot is insane. This is such a busy place, and I've got a really good spot, so I'm staying right here. But what was I saying? So typically what I do is I test with OPKs. I'm not getting anything from temping. I have not been able to track ovulation or anything like that with my temping. It's so crazy. It's so all over the place, and I don't know if that's related to personally my body, my actual what's going on, my cycle, or if it's just kind of an environmental type thing with our room being cold and me not getting in a lot of sleep. So anyway, I typically, once I get that definite positive OPK, I wait 24 hours and then I consider that to be the next day to be 1 DPO. And so that's what I've been doing every cycle, and I've been spot on every time. My app is always spot on. I don't know what's going on. I've tested every single day since 9 DPO in the morning, first wake up, BFN every day, big fat negative every morning. 12 DPO, which was supposed to be the night before AF came, I started cramping, and I thought, there she is, right on time, just like always. Don't need to buy any more tests, better get the pads out, put them next to the sink, you know, get ready, tomorrow's the day. And I got up yesterday morning, and nothing. All day yesterday, driving myself crazy, racking my brain, running to the bathroom every 5 minutes, and nothing. She never showed. Then I wake up this morning and she's still not here, and I'm running to the bathroom all day, you know, waiting for her to get here. And like I said, 12 DPO, I was cramping. Yesterday I was cramping. Today I've been cramping. And I typically don't cramp unless AF is actually here. I don't usually cramp before she comes. I'm usually like mid-cycle, and it has to be a pretty bad period for me in order for me to cramp heavily. And so I've been cramping, but I'm still getting all these negative tests. And I mean, it's so frustrating. It's not that I think I'm pregnant. I'm not having any other symptoms. I'm having all my typical PMSing, kind of moody, emotional. I've been binge eating. I've been craving, you know, weird things like I always do before AF gets here. And so I'm just like, can she come already? Like, can I get this over with? Can we just start a new cycle? Can I not stress about this anymore? Can I stop taking pregnancy tests? And it's stressing me out. I mean, like I said, I don't think I'm pregnant. And me, the intelligent, realistic Ashley, knows that I'm probably not. But then there's that other part of me that has that hope, like, it's possible, you know, they say you're not out until she shows up, and you could have implanted late, and these cramps could be implantation cramps, and these cramps can mean that, you know, I don't know. I'm testing. I'm using tests that detect, you know, very low amounts of the HCG, and I just kind of feel like I would have gotten something by now, and it's just that I've miscalculated my ovulation, or maybe my body's decided to revert back to its old ways where I have crazy cycles and nothing is predictable. I don't know. And that's making me even more anxious, is that what if I had an ovulatory cycle where I'm going to go 40, 50 days before I get a period, and I don't want to deal with that again. I don't want to deal with that anymore. So as sad as it would be to be cycle day 1, that is just what I'm hoping for, because I really don't think that I'm going to be getting my BFP. But I guess I'll end this now. It's kind of dragging on, and I didn't mean for it to. I just, you know, was thinking about all of you and all of the support that everyone's been giving me, and I had a few messages where, you know, people wanting to know what's going on, and I just, you know, wanted to let you know that nothing really is going on except, you know, all this stress. So pray for me, pray that something happens, because being in this limbo is driving me crazy. And I just wanted to, no matter what, give everybody an update, no matter where it was or what I was doing, and thank everyone for your support. And I hope everybody has a great day.